This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
Well, hello there. I'm Tim Melton, and this is The Meltdown. You have entered the Culver studio, and there's no turning back now. Unless you were, to some reason, stop watching us, which I don't recommend that you do that. I recommend you stay here. You continue to watch us because we've got a fun show prepared for you today. And I've got a cast of friends, cast of characters here to make sure that the next hour is full of frivolousness. E.G., how are you?
Good. How
Frivolity
are you?
is what I was looking for.
Yeah. We got there.
Yeah, we got there eventually. We also have Tyler Lionel Johns. Tyler, wave to the camera and say hello. Yeah, hey, Tyler. Tyler's busy. Tyler's doing things.
Everything's been falling apart today, and I've just been. Some days I'm like Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2, trying to hold the train and keep it from going off the tracks. My suit's ripping, and I got my arms all, just straight out, trying to stop the train from going off the tracks. And then some days you're my Joey Diaz.
Well, I am not going to keep you long here, but I do have to, before we let you get back to whatever it is you're doing that's important for the show and the stream and everything, I want you to tell us about the latest with your physical media aspirations and how certain big companies are telling you to go screw yourself.
So, back in February, I ordered a Nosferatu 4K Steelbook. It's very hard to get your hands on at the time. Still is, come to find out. Got an email back in April saying there's going to be a delay, but your order's on the way. If you tick this box and say you're still willing to wait for it, we'll get it to you. So I tick the box. Flash forward to about 20 minutes ago. I look at my email. We're sorry, but your Amazon order has been canceled.
Oh, no.
They kept me on the hook for 5 months and then said, actually, you know what? We don't want your money. We don't want it at all. So that's been the cherry on top of today. I don't know if I just need to switch up my supplier as far as steelbooks go. I know you talk up Groove a lot.
Yeah.
Better than Amazon overall.
Oh, yeah.
For pre-orders and stuff like that, because this was technically a pre-order.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm switching.
Amazon ships everything. Groove ships physical media.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
tagline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good.
Gosh, that is good. They should use that.
I'm going to the burger place and ordering lobster by getting the Steelbook on Amazon.
Yeah, I think it's probably more common that you go to a lobster place and order a burger, in terms of I don't think the burger place is selling lobster, but I get what you're saying.
Sometimes you go to just kind of a ratty little fast food shop.
And they have lobster there?
Oh, well, not lobster. More scrimps.
Got it. That makes more sense.
The fast food scrimps.
Yeah.
You don't want them.
You. Okay, couple things to get into here. First off, we got a big poker game tonight. Okay, this is a cash game.
Yeah.
This is, money's on the table. Not playing tournament style tonight. It's not about the flips. It's not about the flops. It's about precision. It's about the tactical strikes. Are you prepared, EG? Because the last time you played in a casino, it was in a cash game, and you did rather well.
I'm really excited. I am currently playing right now. This is what I do oftentimes when you guys don't see me. I'm doing this in the studio. With that being said, I'm excited to flex the cash muscle because I think that I want to get good at both styles of play. And obviously last time I was playing cash, I was quite literally thrown to the wolves. I mean, it was the most uncomfortable you could probably be for myself, considering the circumstances surrounding my first casino game, but first casino cash game as well. So I'm excited. It's going to be a good vibe. Looking forward to it.
I hope so. I hope you don't lose all your money firsthand. That would suck.
I'm not going to do that.
Like Ace King, it wouldn't be your fault. I'm saying
not going
just
to go all in on Ace King firsthand.
you are if the flop comes out Ace King 3 and you get shoved on, you're going to call.
Pre-flop, I'm not.
I know, and then your opponent's going to hit a straight against you, and I'm just telling you that that's possible.
Okay,
So I don't know what y'all are saying, but I do think that we need to make the saying flexing the cash muscle a new saying for
muscle.
splurging.
I like
Okay.
that.
It's like you're going to the mall.
Flex
You
the
know,
cash
flexing
muscle.
the cash muscle a little bit.
I flexed the cash muscle this past weekend
Where?
in your
Oh, Atlanta.
hometown of Atlanta, Georgia.
Woo!
And let me tell you, the traffic there still sucks. It's awful.
Yeah.
I know
mean,
you've
you
never-
went to the worst part too, McDonough. Awful.
It's really bad. Atlanta traffic is the pits. It's I don't know how many times if I had $1 for every time I screamed I hate Atlanta traffic while driving through it,
Probably be a millionaire.
Probably
Flex
so.
that cash muscle.
I would have been. I'm very worried about us saying that, and I'm gonna have a slip of the tongue or something. It's gonna sound
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah, agreed.
But anyway, I played poker Friday night.
Okay.
Ended up profitable, which is good.
Good.
Which basically paid for the trip, so that's good.
Awesome.
Yes. So that's good. Played poker Friday night till the wee hours of the morning. Woke up Saturday morning, and then I went over to Hot Atlanta, which I hear all Atlanta people hate.
Yeah, that's
Being
not
said.
really-
And I spent Saturday in Decatur, Georgia, which EG's not the biggest fan of, but I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Thought it was very quaint,
Yeah.
and it was nice, and there was like a square, and I mean, it's just like people walking around having a good time,
Good.
and lots of little shops and stuff. Everything we went to was within walking distance, which was really nice because I hate Atlanta traffic. So when I can park my vehicle
And forget about it.
and forget about it and have a good day and it's in a good spot, that's all good. We ate at the Italian restaurant called Number 246.
I haven't heard of that.
It's very good. I recommend it. It's cramped in there. It's
Really?
like
That's hard for you.
it's very difficult for me. So it's very cramped in there. I was in a little wooden chair.
Oh, it's also difficult for you.
Also difficult for me. I was terrified that I was going to crack it. It felt a little wobbly,
Yeah.
but you know what? I went more upper body with my
Kinda, yeah.
weight shift. I just went upper body, and it kind of helped ease the legs there from
Have you ever
wobbling too
broken a
much.
chair sitting in it?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
100%.
At restaurants?
Plastic chairs.
Fear
Tip-
you?
No, I fear them. I fear
mean,
them.
If that cracks the right way, you could be in a world of hurt.
That's a Final Destination movie right
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So anyway, enough about me and my body size. I went to an Italian restaurant, Number 246. We had a wonderful waiter, and he made a lot of recommendations that were really good. And it was fantastic. It was very hot, though. It was like 90-something degrees. There was very little air circulation in the restaurant, too. So it was
And you're eating
warm in
Italian
there.
food,
I mean,
heavy.
Italian food.
Ooh,
And
it's like being here in the Culver studio and eating Italian food.
That'd be gross.
90 degrees and no airflow.
it was warm. Lots of people.
Oh,
Loud.
Okay. Loud, lots of movement. The waiter's like,
Shimmy.
the space between me and you right now is less than the space between me and another patron.
Yeah.
Like
So you're shimmying through.
the waiters are shimming through, and so they're just constantly putting their rear in your face, okay, and in your food. But it was good. I mean, everything was good. I got some red wine, and I'm not a red wine drinker, but I said, La Viande Rose, you know,
Okay.
and I said, let's go.
What? Do you remember what it was? I'm not a.
I don't. It was something from
Savant.
Tuscany, and that's all I know. I
I
said,
think Olive Garden trains their chefs there.
Yeah.
I think that's where they build the. Never mind. Anyway, the point is, I love Olive Garden, by the way. I ordered some red wine. He could tell I didn't know anything about wine, but he knew I had some money to flex or whatever it is, cash to
or
flex.
what was
You
it
were
saying?
looking to flex your
the
cash
cash
muscle.
I was looking to flex my cash muscle, and I
You all
was
get a
like,
bottle or just a glass?
I just got a glass. She got some. My wife got some mixed drinks. I don't know what they were, but she enjoyed those, and I enjoyed this red wine.
Goblet.
Well, the thing is, he didn't want to pour me a whole glass without me tasting it first.
Yeah,
but I
so
didn't realize that.
A little taste.
So he did the pour, and it was like this much, and I was like, "Well, that's not a lot."
You swirl it and sniff it.
And he's standing there, and I'm like, "Oh, you want me to try it?" And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So and then the glass I have to I keep thinking I'm gonna get liquid at some point. I'm not a wine guy. I don't know if you know this. So
Are you goblet? Are you holding it goblet style?
I'm holding it goblet style. I'm holding it Nosferatu style. Yes. Okay. So I'm drinking this, right? It's all air right now, and it's just the glass on the bridge of my nose creating an indentation. That's all it is. And I'm like, is it ever going to hit my tongue? You know, I'm like, and I'm not dainty. I'm not a dainty fellow,
No.
so I can't really pull off. And I'm sweating through my shirt. It's very warm.
And you went with wine that just, ooh.
Yeah, but I mean, I wanted to drink wine.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
I love it.
It was birthday, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drink myself some wine. He came over actually. He was like, I hear it's someone's birthday, and you were born in January of January 20, and he messed it all up. But I was like, no, it's June, but it's fine. Anyway, I guess he just mixed it up because they're both J months.
Potentially.
Anyway, I eventually get the wine, and I'm like, that's good. I sit it down, and then
good.
he pours me a half of a glass. I've never understood like why when you order a glass of wine, they don't give you a whole glass of wine. I don't know. It's just
Same
like
here. I don't get it. I'm not a wine guy either.
it's like buying a bag of chips and you
And you
open
get
it up
half
and it's
full.
like, oh, it's all air. It's like, well, we have to do that to preserve it. No, you're just not giving me enough chips.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not much of a wine drinker either. I had wine spilled on me this past weekend twice.
Oh, yeah, you sit over there and judge me and laugh at me. in my
No,
little,
I'm not judging
my
you at
little
all.
wooden chair.
No.
How did that happen?
Little freaking wedding, and 2 people spilled wine on me.
Is this your last wedding?
Yes.
So you're done.
I'm done, but now I have an engagement party I just found out about. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Stop falling in love.
There we go.
Yeah.
E.g. the anti-Cupid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm about to like start pulling those arrows out of people. Like,
I believe if you just
Chillax.
hit them with the arrows, it stops.
maybe. It was white wine though, not red wine.
I watched 28 Years Later. I know how the arrow thing works.
For true.
Anyway, so I drank this, and I didn't want to drink it with no food, right?
Yeah, your palate, you need to have the one that, you know.
I like to drink with my meal. I don't like to drink on an empty stomach.
Well, for you, that's a real bad idea.
It's a real bad idea. I'm a giant monster. However, alcohol works really quickly on me.
It's actually like a marvel of science because
genetic mutation.
Yeah, like in high school and college, they always taught us like, oh, it's based on your weight,
Mass.
and yeah, it's based on your mass,
Yeah.
and
No.
alcohol by volume, and with you, like, it's just half a beer. and
Any
you're
type
3
of
sheets to the
stimulant,
wind.
any type of stimulant just sends me into overdrive. I mean, the smallest amount.
And even like pain medication, right?
Pain medication.
Oh, so you're just super sensitive to like all drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like what would normally take somebody, 3 or 4 to start feeling something, I feel in half a glass.
I gotcha.
And most people are like, teach me your ways, and I'm like, no, I just, Anyway, so what I did was ordered the wine and took the test sip, got the pour, took one more sip and just left it.
Yeah.
But he's like concerned that I don't like it, I guess, or he's
Yeah, or they're
concerned.
expecting you to order another glass with your meal. So
There you go. So he's like, hey, if you do want to drink that, I'll get you another glass,
Yeah. So did
But
you
it's
do
on the, it's on me.
Good.
I was like, oh, okay.
So you down?
Well,
that one.
I did when I got my appetizer,
Which
was
Sounds delicious.
some sort of bread
Oh, with olive oil.
with olive oil
balsamic?
and balsamic, but it was like there was a cheese, there was a hot plate of cheese and tomatoes,
Wow. So like a
and you like
bruschetta
top it. It's
almost.
like that, but it's hot. It's not
Yum.
cold. Really good.
That sounds
Wow, this
delicious.
sounds
It's like
amazing.
imagine you get Italian fajitas.
Yum.
That's what it was like. It's like sizzling. It was like, oh, okay.
Is it same experience when they bring it out too, where like
Everyone knows you're ordering
yeah,
them.
everybody knows. Everybody looks when the waiter brings out the sizzling hot plate of fajitas.
I don't think it's to that level, but I will say it warmed the area even more than it was originally. And there's also a candle on the table. So, I mean, it's warm. It's a warm environment. There's also natural. There's like a sunlight.
Yeah. Oh.
It's
you're
warm in
baking.
there.
And then you're drinking wine, which is
I'm
going
in
to
a-
flush your skin.
I'm in a light blue shirt. And,
no.
I'm starting to like, starting to worry there. But I didn't spill any wine or any Italian food on my shirt, which I was very proud of. Anyway, this story's gone on longer than I thought it would. But eventually got on to the eggplant parmesan, which I ordered, which was lovely with a side of spaghetti. That their spaghetti, it's not red, it's white. It's like a white spaghetti. I don't know how to describe it.
like
It's not like a linguine or a
Sauce was white?
sauce was white.
Was it like a pale pink or was it just white?
It was white. So everything was white with like
cream sauce.
Parmesan crumbles on top
It
and
was a
stuff.
cream sauce.
It was like a cream sauce, but it wasn't.
Was it tomatoey?
It did taste a little tomatoey, but it was white. I know it was weird. It was like a mine.
Was it like a vodka sauce or something?
Maybe. I don't know. I was just there eating.
Vodka sauce, not. I didn't.
Okay, E.G. What's in your
I
drink there?
didn't mean to.
You're good. It's all right. As the resident alcoholic, I have more questions for
No,
you.
that pause was not good. I was like, yeah.
I love vodka sauce.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was a great meal. And then I'm like, the only thing is it was taking a long, long time. Like on purpose. They like make it to where it's like,
An
they don't
experience.
put your order in for your food until you get your appetizer. They don't put your appetizer order in until you're done with your drinks. They don't, they want you to like be there for a
Elongate,
while.
Make it a moment.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of turnover with tables. It's like people come in there and they stay for a long time. So it's
they
like,
really want the European experience, I guess.
sounds like it. But we had a concert to get to. Okay. So my reservation was for 6:45 Eastern time, which I hate Eastern time. I like Central. Sorry, everything about Atlanta.
like
No,
Eastern
I
better.
agree. I agree, Tim.
Central's better.
Yeah.
Eastern.
Why?
Because in the summer you have longer days.
Yeah, and it's burning up outside. It's 95 degrees
In
at
the
8
winter
o'clock
here,
at
it
night.
gets dark at 3 o'clock. It sucks.
It's not bad. Anyway, point I'm getting to is my birthday, my story. What was I saying? Oh, I had a concert to get to. So the reservation was at 6:45, and my concert, the doors open at 8:45. The concert starts at 9. So I thought that was plenty of time for dinner, 2 hours, But I mean, it ended up working out. But I was like, oh my gosh, it took about 90 minutes to get our
Food? Entree?
I think, our food, our main course. It took about 90 minutes, overall. Now, and the appetizer, it took about an hour to get food on the table, which is why I wasn't drinking the wine. But anyway, it was still great. I'm telling you, it was great. So at the end, they bring me 2 things of limoncello
Oh my gosh, yeah.
on the house with a candle and a nice card and a postcard and a thing of cookies.
Yum.
So it was great. I mean, it was really
How was
fantastic.
the limoncello?
It was great. It was
Yeah.
really good. I just knocked it back and boom,
That'll
So,
Get you going.
I'm walking through Decatur feeling
Pretty
like I
awesome.
just don't need to fall down any of the steps because there was a lot of steps. Everywhere I went, there was more steps. I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, I didn't fall down on the steps. This sounds like I have a problem. I don't. Anyway, so we're walking through and it's a nice, we went by this restaurant called, I think it was called the White Bull. And I don't know if you've heard of that, but I mean, you need to revisit this area, EG. I
Okay.
don't know why you're closed off to it, but it's really nice.
I guess every time I am in that area, I'm in traffic or I'm passing through. I'm never stopping.
It's very nice. Everything, the sunset was beautiful. People were taking photos. Everybody was dressed up really nice.
I love that.
It's like you could just walk. There was heavy police presence, which was great because
Yeah.
I've walked through Atlanta at times where I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable here. I felt totally comfortable.
Good.
There was music in the park.
Love.
I mean, it was just like, I was like, okay,
It's not so bad.
Atlanta's not the worst thing in the world, the suburb of Atlanta known as
Yeah.
Decatur. And then I walked to a place called Eddie's Attic,
Yes.
which I don't know. Have you seen a show at Eddie's Attic?
I've not seen a show, but I'm very familiar with the
Okay.
space.
I don't know where you are on live music, especially in like an intimate setting like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of indifferent.
Right. I never thought that was your vibe. I thought you were way more of like sports,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
legitimately. So I go to Eddie's Attic. This is the place that launched John Mayer's career. This is the place that launched Sugarland's career. This is the place where Luke Combs, when he was coming up the ranks, it's a singer-songwriter space.
Mm-hmm.
They call it a listening room. I'm like, oh, that sounds like the perfect idea of a concert. You didn't have a bunch of people on their phones, like filming.
That's
You didn't
cool.
have a lot of talking. It was just like you're there in a space that is not too much bigger than this floor we're on. And they have a nice patio area, and it's well managed, good vibes. But you have to walk up these steps.
Oh no.
It's called an attic for a reason. You are up in the top of the rafters there, and there's a little stage in the corner, and you just sit there, and it's very interactive. I mean, I was 10, 20 feet away from one of my favorite musicians of all time. His name's Tyler Lyle. He does folk. He's an acoustic folk player, but he ended up joining back in the early 2010s a band called The Midnight, which became my favorite band of all time, which they do synth pop. And it's really, really good. And he shared some details about the upcoming album that's coming out that he was like, please don't tell anybody, but here's the details. I was like, I don't know. I have a platform where I don't know. I don't want things to leak and stuff and then really causing problems because he, could get into trouble there. I don't know. But no one was really recording anything. But I know more details now about the upcoming Midnight album that's coming out this fall. and I'm very excited about it. And he played a unreleased track off of it that's coming out, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So it was really great. Also very hot in there. He was a sweaty mess. I mean, it was just, every place was hot. Every single place was warm.
I don't like that at all.
And hot and sticky.
Kind of like this room.
Like, I'm sitting there, and I kept having the wait staff walk in front of me because of where I was seated. I guess the people who go there often know not to sit where I sat. And I like constantly had to shift my legs and move my legs, but it was a great time and no complaints. Ended up walking back to where we were staying. It was all like a 5-minute walk from everywhere we needed to go, and it was a lot of fun. And that is the way I spent my last day as a 35-year-old, because yesterday was my birthday, and I ended up spending my 36-year-old day, my first one, in the heart of Atlanta. And we went to Lenox Square Mall.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, EG, but I believe they've reduced their hours at Lenox to where when people get off of school, out of school hours, they pretty much close it down.
Yeah, no, it is literally, I was actually talking to my mom because she found something in an estate sale for me, and I wanted to go to one of the stores to have them authenticate it, whatever. It's at Lenox, nah.
Oh, so it's got that reputation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a bad time. I had a good time.
Good.
That's good.
I didn't have a bad time. Never felt sketched out or anything. I thought that was the mall that, was, I mean, all malls kind of, don't all malls feel kind of?
Yeah, but Lenox is one that had to reduce their hours specifically because of kids with guns.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like during Christmas,
yes,
when we, like, the very few times we have to go down there, it's like, my dad still like holds my hand / like arm as we walk. And like, if we buy anything, it's like, no, you don't bring out a shopping bag and you like just stuff it in your coat.
Well, I was just a big guy with a Jamba Juice.
Now, to be fair, Tim, I don't think anybody's pressing you.
No.
No,
being 6'9".
No.
I didn't find any hostility. I found more hostility down at the, little podunk gas station where the guy walked up to me and said, I don't want to live in a country where a man's bigger than his truck. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. That's what
reality.
freedom is. That's
Yeah.
what freedom is. I drive a tiny truck. Anyway, no, I didn't have, it was just hot. Everywhere was hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
But anyway, we ate at the Vortex, which is one of my favorite restaurants.
Delish.
New owners there. I'm
Really?
a little worried. Yeah,
My brother
wasn't
was
as
there.
good.
Y'all might have actually been at the same time.
Well, there's 2 locations. We were at the Little 5 Points area.
I don't know which one he was at.
Yesterday
Or not yesterday. He was there on Friday, I think.
I was there yesterday. And then I went to Criminal Records, which is my favorite record shop. And I got a record, and happy about that. It was a Continuum with the John Mayer record with Gravity on there, which is my favorite John Mayer song. And once again, I kind of wanted something to remember the trip by. And Eddie's Attic was the thing that launched John Mayer's career, so I figured I'd get a John Mayer album. So it all worked out. We went to IKEA as well, which is great for people watching. If you want to watch a lot of different people.
Y'all get any meatballs?
I was about to ask, did y'all get the Swedish meatballs?
We had meatballs at the Italian restaurant, so we didn't get the IKEA meatballs. But their hot dog looked very good, and but it was 95 degrees, and I thought, I've got to walk many more miles, and I don't know if I want to put this hot dog in my system, So I didn't do it. But we went to IKEA, and it was, we don't have IKEAs here in Birmingham, so it was an event for us.
I've only been once.
Did it do anything for you?
No.
I feel like maybe when you like get your own home or something, that IKEA will become a bigger staple in your life.
I had a bad experience ordering online with IKEA in college.
Yeah.
My dad banned it from purchase.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Hunter says great mall, but not safe at all. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smuff wants to know who these Eddie's Attic people think they are, the former 5 Points Music Hall.
I don't know how to answer that question.
I don't either.
But Eddie's Attic is a wonderful place. I recommend it. I recommend you check it out. If you find an artist there that you want to be up close and personal with, go do that. I'm sure that's a reference to something I'm not catching.
5 Points Music Hall?
Yeah.
It was downtown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I never went to the 5 Points Music Hall.
Okay. I would have assumed you would have caught a show there a time or two at UAB.
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I have not. But I have been to Eddie's Attic for the first time. And we ended the day yesterday, by the way, at Culver's. On the way back, Stop by Culver's.
Wow.
That's the best way to end the day.
It was great. It was really great. It was fantastic. I love that you can go to the table and just mobile order at the table and they'll bring it right to you.
That's really nice.
So awesome. And food's always fresh, always good. Butter burger.
What'd you
At the
get?
spot. I got a butter burger, fries, drink, and a concrete mixer.
Oh.
Now, you'll find this funny. You'll probably find this funny too.
Did you spill it?
No, I did not spill it. That's a Spud reference. My wife got the spicy chicken sandwich,
Yum.
and I don't handle spice well either. I don't handle spice well. And she just kept trying to feed me a bite because I guess she wanted to see me writhe in pain. I don't know why. Everyone that's closest to me in my life likes when I'm in agony.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't provide support,
No.
but I did not want a bite of the spicy chicken sandwich. She just kept pushing the entire time. I was like, I'm enjoying my burger here. But if spicy chicken sandwiches are your thing, she says they have a wonderful one. She's very picky about chicken. I don't know if y'all know anybody in your life that's picky about chicken.
I'm kind of low-key picky about chicken.
Like wanting to make sure that it's a good cut of chicken.
Yeah, and it's not like
it's not tough,
chewy and
chewy,
veiny. Ugh.
she's okay.
Yeah.
She's very particular about chicken. She ate the whole thing. Said this is one of the best pieces of chicken I've ever had. So there we go. Culver's.
I did see in an article recently that Culver's has a new lineup of chicken sandwiches,
Really?
and they're supposed to be the bomb.
I want to try
which-
the fish one.
The fish one's good. I really like the cod sandwich.
Ush is a big fan, so get two when you're going
Really?
to a Pennant Grace watch party. Yeah, he's a big
We
fan.
should have the Culver's guys up here soon.
Absolutely. We will make that happen. We appreciate Culver's and we appreciate their support here of the Meltdown, and highly recommend you check out Culver's if you haven't. If you've never been to Culver's, you're really missing out. They do things the best way possible for a casual, sit-down, fast food sort of restaurant experience. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, man, why doesn't every place do it like this? So it's really good. Thank you, Culver's. Okay. I turned 36 yesterday. Today, Batman 1989 turns 36. We were brought into the world at the same time, pretty much, same weekend. And it was the number one movie in the country. It was the number one movie the year I was born. I don't know if you guys know what the number one movie was the year you were born. I don't know if we've looked that up before.
We looked it up for me.
That was 2001.
2000.
I think we looked it up for your weekend.
Yeah, for my weekend, it was Saving Private Ryan.
Ooh. What would it have been for the year? Remind me what year you guys were born.
01.
01,
99.
99. I'm going to say, is it going to be The Matrix for you? I don't know. What's the highest grossing movie of
Phantom
99?
Menace.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Man.
For me?
Duh.
No, for me.
Oh.
For you, it would be. Oh, how fitting! Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
No way!
See?
Oh my gosh. Look it
See?
up for my weekend, March 7th.
I love Batman 1989, biggest movie of the year. You love Harry Potter, biggest movie of the year. Tyler loves Jar Jar Binks and Star Wars. No.
Now this is pod racing.
Exactly. Tyler loves pod racing.
I like Watto.
Well, I love Batman 1989, which is a wad of fun. And Jack Nicholson's my favorite Joker. This is my second favorite Batman movie ever made. I talked about Batman Begins and what that did for Bruce Wayne and Batman. Batman 1989 got so many things right. There's an entire thread out there on X from All the Right Movies, which is one of my favorite follows on X if you're a movie fanatic. And they did a whole breakdown of everything that they got right about Batman 1989. And they said this thread will have you dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight, which is one of the big lines from the movie. Warner Brothers had a huge success with Superman, and they wanted to try to figure out how to kind of do that with Batman. And they didn't know if they could get the public to buy into a darker version of Batman. I mean, people were used to the Adam West version that had been in syndication forever. Adam West himself wanted to play Batman, and when he was told there ain't a chance of this happening because he was way over the age they were looking for that part. Plus, it would have messed with people's minds of what is this, and they wouldn't have understood it at the time, and he just was not fit for that role. He's perfect for the 1960s Batman television series, and that's not a slight, but he was not cut out for this role. And originally, the person that was really pushed for this was Mel Gibson as Batman, Bruce Wayne.
That would have been a choice.
Yeah. Eventually, a lot of other names came about, like Pierce Brosnan, Bill Murray. There's a lot. Now, you laugh, but you got to remember, Michael Keaton was known more as a comedic actor than a dramatic actor at that point. Like Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice had been a big hit.
Right.
Like, you love Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is a very important movie to you.
Yes, it is.
I have a weird relationship with Beetlejuice. Where
you ended up, I feel like, liking Beetlejuice a lot more than the original.
Correct. I have no real affinity for Beetlejuice other than the fact that without its success, there would have been no Batman 1989. That movie is the one that showed that that team can work together. Burton can create a hit for a studio, and Michael Keaton can take on a role that has a lot of different layers to it. But the studio still was squeamish about Michael Keaton being the guy. Burton never backed down.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised they weren't more squeamish about Beetlejuice. Burton made a very dark, weird movie and still managed to make it, I would call it a 4-quadrant movie. It's a family movie that is still kind of vulgar and
very.
There's a lot of points where you go, how is this a family movie? But it's a family movie.
How is Jaws, which we talked about on Friday, PG? Right. And I know people are like, well, Tim, PG-13 didn't exist then. I'm like, yeah, no, it should have been R.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen Jaws? Like, my whole ploy on Friday talking to EG about Jaws is going to be like, it's just rated PG. I don't know what your problem is.
That's
PG, EG, come on. It's like it was meant for you.
You got the show, PG.
Duh.
No. I've never seen a bigger misfire in what a actual rating should be. But, Jaws, thank goodness it was rated PG because kids everywhere got a chance to sort of see it.
Traumatized.
They wouldn't have, exactly, traumatized. But anyway, they had their Batman in Michael Keaton eventually. The question is, who would they get for their Joker? And the part was basically offered to Robin Williams. And he was ready to take it. He was going to go for it. And they used that as leverage to finally convince Nicholson to go for it because they wanted Nicholson. He kind of played hardball with them of like, I don't really think I'm going to take this. He heard that Robin Williams was going to be offered the part and he said, okay, I'll take it, but I want the best deal in cinematic history. And he ended up making tens of millions of dollars off of this role.
I mean, is there like an exact number? Because he owns a portion of every Batman movie,
That's
right?
the rumor. That's the rumor.
Either every Batman movie or every Batman movie with Joker.
The rumor is every following Batman movie he would get paid a percentage off of. He got paid less upfront and more on the percentage of the movie, and I think the merchandising and the right. I mean, they gave him like, hey, we really want Jack. He's a big time actor, obviously, and they gave him the moon, and he took it, and it paid for his entire existence. Michael Keaton, there were 50,000 letters. Didn't have the internet then to complain. 50,000 letters mailed to Warner Brothers saying, please don't cast this guy as Batman. He's the wrong pick. And then they ended up winning the People's Choice Award for Best Film that year, and they delivered a speech where he's like, you guys, if you know anything about me and my family, keep sending the letters because that's what motivated me to be great. So that's great. And Nicholson, you can tell, like whispers in his ear, hey, don't forget those letters. You need to mention that here. But to prepare for the role, Keaton, he studied bats. He lived alone in London for a year. He studied 2 texts, Frank Miller's comic books, The Dark Knight Returns, and Batman Year One. I'm a bigger fan of Batman Year One.
I am too. I'm honestly kind of burnt out on Dark Knight Returns, especially with how much influence that played on Batman v Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of burnt out on Dark Knight Returns. The original Frank Miller work is great.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It's just been sort of like...
It's done to death.
Mined to death.
Yes.
It's like, hey, this is more Dark Knight Returns. I'm immediately like, I don't know. So I hope they don't go that way for Brave and the Bold, which I don't think they will. Batman's voice, they talk about how perfect it was because Keaton was sort of that first actor to speak in a lower register. Mm-hmm. You remember Adam West? I mean, in the 1960s comic book television adaptation, I mean, he spoke like Adam West the entire time, pretty much. He didn't really disguise his voice at all. And in this Batman movie, I mean, he definitely speaks with a lower register, which was taken to an extreme by some would feel like in The Dark Knight with Christian Bale, whose voice was then mocked and sort of mimicked in parody. I understand why Bale went as hard as he did on like, I'm going to make this voice like super hyper realistic of someone trying to disguise their voice. But at times it comes across as like way too much, which is why Bale, in my opinion, can't be the best Batman. His voice dings him. And I feel like
that's where I would go more Kevin Conroy.
Oh, man.
Just because, like, I feel like that's the happy medium because Kevin Conroy also was doing his Batman voice in a lower register as well. But it wasn't the just over-exaggerated, gravelly kind of sound.
And Conroy, like a lot of people would be like, yeah, of course, like Conroy was a voice actor, duh. But that's not it. Conroy, the psychology of what he did with the voice, people don't give him enough credit for, or they don't understand the wrinkles that he put in from understanding the character on a deep, complex level. So anyway.
That's also partially due to people not really digging that deep into voice acting and how much of a talent it really is to do it properly.
Well, AI is just going to replace it easily.
Yeah. Well, and the other problem is you have all of these family just slop quality movies where they just try and get The Rock, Kevin Hart, and whoever else just will not say no to a single project to be in it, just to have those top stars on the billing, and they don't do anything for their performance. They just talk like themselves.
Yeah, that's completely fair. That's why they're getting paid that money, because they want to be able to add that celebrity to the picture. Mm-hmm. There's two actors that have always been associated with the Batman franchise that have never been a part of the Batman franchise, that fans have constantly, like forever and ever and ever, fantasized about them being a part of it. One of them's Robin Williams, who was in his heyday during the time that all these movies were being made. He was in negotiations to become the Joker. And then the thought was, okay, he got screwed over on the Joker part. Maybe he's going to be the Riddler.
I was going to say, he'd make a fantastic Riddler.
And he even teased in interviews like, hey, I know the Joker thing went to Jack, and, he ended up getting it. And he would do his Jack Nicholson impression, which is really good. He did that in Aladdin as well. But he kept saying, like, hey, there's an avenue there for the Riddler for me. So everyone always fantasized of what Robin Williams would be like in the Batman universe. Everybody wanted it. Never happened. There's another actor, though, that was also in talks to play the Joker in 1989. It didn't quite work out because they wanted, I think, a bigger star. Willem Dafoe.
Oh.
Willem Dafoe has always and forever been the guy that people have been like, that's who we want as the Joker. Now, when Heath Ledger was cast in 2008, people are like, you have Willem Dafoe right there. What are you doing? Heath Ledger is this stupid pretty boy who's never going to amount to anything. Wasn't he in the Gay Cowboy movie? There's no way. That's the way people were talking. Wasn't he in the Gay Cowboy movie? There's no way he's going to be a good Joker.
I mean, that's definitely how people were talking in 2007, 2008 about Heath Ledger.
Guess what? All those people were wrong.
Yes.
And all those people, the minute he made that pencil disappear, went, oh, crap, we were wrong.
Well,
I've never seen a collective audience say, oh, crap, we were wrong so quick.
Yeah. I mean, that same
great.
crowd got proven wrong again with Robert Pattinson because, he's the Twilight pretty boy this time. And people just never bought him as Batman until they saw it. And that's if they went to see it and put up with the 3-hour runtime. Because a lot of people didn't watch it just out of protest.
Yeah. I mean, casting Batman movies is always hits a nerve with people. Michelle Pfeiffer was going to be playing the role of Vicky Vale in the 1989 movie. She was dating Michael Keaton at the time, and she declined the role. It ended up working out for Batman
I was about
fans.
to say, she was holding out for a much better role.
She got Catwoman in Batman Returns, which worked out really, really well. Sean Young was actually cast as Vicky Vale after Michelle Pfeiffer decided that she was not going to take the part, but she broke her collarbone practicing horse riding for a scene, and she had to drop out. Burton had earlier been speaking to Kim Basinger. She received an emergency call 1 week before filming and took the part. And it worked out. She was very good in the role. I do wish that it had a little bit more of a layer to it, or we would have maybe gotten a follow-up and some closure of that romance, but she did really good. For the role of Harvey Dent, obviously that ended up going to Billy D. Williams down the line, but there were a number of actors that were in the running for that one. The actor that was really wanted by Burton was Ray Liotta. But Ray Liotta had to make Goodfellas instead, and it worked out for cinephiles everywhere.
I'm all right with that.
Because Harvey Dent, while I think there would have been maybe more of a presence of him throughout the movies, had, there'd been some commitment to that, expanding that character. Billy D. Williams is awesome in the little time that he's used in Batman 1989. And Ray Liotta was needed for Goodfellas to become the masterpiece that it is. So it all worked out there. Tommy Lee Jones ended up getting the role in Batman Forever, and they ended up having to pay out Billy D. Williams' contract because part of his deal was, I'll do it as long as I'm the one that comes back for the role. You don't recast me. And so the one thing they wanted to do in Batman Forever is recast Billy D. Williams with Tommy Lee Jones so that he got paid a chunk of change to not be in a movie. So it ended up working out there. There's a story about Tim Burton having dyslexia and not being able to read a lot of the source material on Batman. But one story that he was able to get through was Alan Moore's The Killing Joke. And he sort of fell in love with that comic book. And he says that it was the only comic book not hindered by his dyslexia. So that's a little interesting fun fact. I know he's always referenced it for sure. We've got to talk a little bit about the fact that this soundtrack rocks.
Yeah, 1 second. Would you put Killing Joke above Year One?
No.
Okay.
No, I prefer Year One.
All right.
That's more my speed. Killing Joke is a weird fantasy, like crazy, dark, super depressing tale that has iconic imagery associated with it. But I don't love the way that ends. I don't love the way The Killing Joke ends. This weird carnival and...
Yeah, the ending, that sort of ambiguous ending with the actual Killing Joke, man, that always, confused me when I was, probably 13, 14, reading that for the first time. Just going what is going on with this?
Very open to interpretation of how that all plays out. But obviously the apartment scene with Barbara and everything is, very traumatic. So, but yeah, great question there. But I'm more of a Batman Year One fan, for sure. The Batsuit's great. The music is so good. Danny Elfman, what he did, they were originally going to try to get John Williams to do the score because he had done Superman, and obviously John Williams is John Williams, so it makes a lot of sense. But Danny Elfman said that he recorded the Batman theme basically for free and played it for them and said, this is what you're going to get if you hire me. And with the backing of Tim Burton and everything, I mean, it was just we're going to go with this. And it ended up, that theme still resonates today. If you ask people what's the one theme you associate with Batman, it's the Danny Elfman 1989 opening theme that is the most widely associated with Batman, even though every era has a wonderful theme and every era has its own distinct feel and flavor. Obviously the 60s television show, the animated series.
I love the animated series opening.
The Dark Knight trilogy. Batman v Superman, right? I don't know. I feel like Man of Steel gets way more credit for its soundtrack than Batman v Superman does, but it sort of laid the groundwork. And then The Batman, I feel like, has an awesome soundtrack where everything's been done to death and they still created something that's completely original and fresh and really goes along with that character rather well. But on the pop side of things, Prince was the one. They wanted Michael Jackson at one point. They talked about George Michael at one point. They ended up getting Prince. And
I think that's the best out of the three you listed there.
So good. The Bat Dance music video where he's dressed up half and half of Prince and the Joker, and it's all good. And Party Man is my favorite Prince song off of the soundtrack, where that's the one where Jack Napier / the Joker / Jack Nicholson is going through the museum, and he is defacing all of the different paintings there and dancing with the boombox and lighting the candles on fire. And, it's a lot of fun where he's meeting up there with Kim Basinger and good stuff there. But we got to also talk about what I think is the best Batmobile in the history of Batman. Like the Tumbler we've talked about, it's very proficient.
Yeah.
And it's a little tank.
It fits the world that Christopher Nolan was building out, in that Batman is just acquiring all of his stuff from old stuff that Wayne Industries isn't using anymore, old military contracts. Tumbler fits for that.
It does.
But the 89 Batmobile just looks sick. Beautiful.
I don't think there's a better Batmobile. I don't think there can ever be a better Batmobile than what you get with the 89 Batmobile. Still looks sharp.
Yeah, it still looks good. I think that's why you don't see a tumbler outside Six Flags over Georgia in the Gotham City area. You got the 89 Batmobile.
Yeah. I mean, it's so good. It got that sliding cockpit on there.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. It's 20 feet long, had an 8-foot wheelbase, and it weighed 1.5 tons. So the thing is sleek in its look, but it's an absolute powerhouse for sure. And you get 2 full films with it, which is great. I wouldn't have minded if Batman Forever had kept that same Batmobile, but
Been fine with
they
it.
decided to do a different take where you get to see a little bit more of the engine there, and then Batman and Robin like ended up covering it all up and making it look more really like the 60s Batman in terms of its paint design. So anyway, to test the 90-second trailer, Warner Brothers showed it at a theater in California to an unsuspecting audience. It received a standing ovation, and Warner Brothers used that story to promote the film, that the trailer ended up receiving a standing ovation. It grossed $40 million in its opening weekend, the biggest of all time. Domestically, it was the highest-grossing film of 1989 and became the highest-grossing Batman movie and highest-grossing DC film adaptation. Now, adjusted for inflation, this movie is just... It was on a massive scale. Summer of 1989 was Batmania, and that's the world I was brought into, and it's why I continue to still represent the cape and the cowl the way I do. It's always been a part of my life, and I turned 36 yesterday. This movie turns 36 today, and I will be thinking about this movie for the rest of my life because it's that impactful of a cultural event, and it paved the way for every superhero movie after it, that it doesn't have to just be light, fluffy material. It can be dark and brooding and get across and be taken seriously. So I thank Tim Burton for that, even though he took all his goodwill in 89 and sort of ruined it with Batman Returns from a willing to play ball with the studio sort of way. Batman Returns is still, in my opinion, the darkest Batman movie ever made.
Yeah, Tim Burton said, all right, Brothers Warner, y'all, he pulled a Todd Phillips, except he made a good movie.
Exactly. 100%.
He said, Brothers Warner, you're not welcome on this lot. I'm making a movie here.
Batman Returns is a very, very, very good movie. But I need a shower after every time I watch it because it's just disgusting. The movie's just absolutely disgusting, filthy, terrifying, vile, heartless. I mean, it's just, it's really, really a very strange thing there. But Batman 89 is triumphant. And while it is dark and brooding and still scary in Gotham, they get Gotham so right in this. So many things that felt like a risk at the time ended up becoming the standard in the industry, still to this day. And it deserves to be respected as such. And I know there's a lot of people that maybe they haven't sat down and really given Batman 89 a rewatch. But if you just watch Nicholson out of context, you think he's just playing a zany, purple-clad, sort of like gadgety, weird Joker. He is sinister in that role. I mean, he's an absolute...
He's a gangster.
He's a gangster. He's a killer. He's cold-hearted. He's a murderer. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen a Joker that's done the damage that he's done on screen before. And a lot of people just think he's like the fun guy with the quick lines because that's what gets cut up in all the montages, right? But he is terrifying in that role. I really do feel that way. And I hope that you'll rewatch it at some point. I mean, him gassing people at the parade and stuff, and that's
This conversation has me wanting to rewatch it tonight.
So good, man. They take that now. They do take that long crawl through the Bat logo with the music, where they would never do that in a day like today. But you get the whole Elfman theme, and it sets you up for it. So good, and I love the art design. I love the little models that they used for this. It's great. The Batwing with the iconic shot with the moon. It's so good. Bob, the goon, he's fantastic in his role. It's a great movie. I own the soundtrack in multiple formats and absolutely love it. So, my love of Batman 89, it's my second favorite Batman movie. Well, Tim, what's your third favorite? Whenever we get to an anniversary, I'll talk about it then. But I've gone through Batman Begins and my love for that as being my number one. Batman 89 is my number two. Both of those movies so important in redefining what Batman can do for just movies in general. And definitely worth the celebration today. Now, with all that being said, there's another group that's definitely worth the celebration, and that is the team over at Alabama Dental Associates. Look, one thing that kind of freaked me out was in Batman 89, after Jack Napier falls into the acid, he has to go get some work done. and there's some rickety doctor down working with some awful unsterilized tools, and you can tell it's just an absolute mess there of what that doctor's doing trying to repair Jack. That is not the case of what you're going to find at Alabama Dental Associates. Professional, clean space, clean environment. Everything is done right there in the perfect way at Alabama Dental Associates. You're seeing all of those services flash across the screen. That's Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, Dr. Nolan over at Alabama Dental Associates. If you need a dentist and you need one that you can trust, I recommend you reach out to the dentist that I trust over at Alabama Dental, accepting new patients now, helping you feel at ease about all of your upcoming dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, call them 205-956-8977 or visit alabamadental.com, where they look forward to seeing you. One thing we're not really looking forward to today on the show is talking about the box office, because it's kind of disappointing. Once again, nothing this past weekend really resonated in a big way. Batman grossed $40 million its opening weekend. Nothing this weekend, this many years later, 36 years later, grossed that much money at the box office. It's kind of a crazy thing to think about. How to Train Your Dragon stayed in the number one spot, but it did drop 56%. It's a huge drop. Wow. It's a huge drop for that type of movie.
Yeah. With a family movie like this, you would expect it to hold well, and that's a bigger drop than we were expecting, especially for the budget they spent on this, and especially when you consider theme park costs, because the entire movie is a copy and paste of the original animated movie in order to convince you to go to Epic Universe and buy a ticket.
It's also the only movie that's playing in over 4,000 theaters across the country right now.
Oh, shit, so you're right. Yeah,
it's the most available movie.
Yeah.
And it took a massive drop there in the number one spot, but still staying number one, fighting off a couple of new releases, including 28 years later, a movie that I've thought about more over the weekend, and I've wondered, did I really enjoy it as much as I thought I did? And I've got to be honest, 4.5 stars for me out of 5. I'm still high on this. I love the camera work. I love the suspense. I love the family dynamic.
Editing
Editing
the year.
So good. One of my favorite. It's not just the way they put scenes together. They use what feels like historical footage during it. They use footage of the infected during it.
Yeah.
It's menacing the way that they edit. You can never get comfortable watching the movie.
Weirdly enough, it almost had it had like a Call of Duty feel to it. You know, where you'll have the general or your Captain Price type character briefing you on the mission, and you'll be seeing shots of war, and then it cut back to soldiers marching and playing out how this country got to that point. That was the feeling I got from it.
Love it.
It was amazing.
The editing makes me want to rewatch it more than anything.
100%.
So I'm really a big fan of 28 Years Later. I know there's some people who find it to be jarring or too slow or not big enough, and its sort of view of how all this sort of came to be with the rage virus. I love it. I think it's the best of the franchise. It is by far and away my favorite of the franchise personally, and I really do. I don't think it's going to work for everybody, obviously.
No, it's not. It when the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show up in the movie. I'm trying to explain my point without spoiling it.
Yeah.
Out of context, that makes no sense.
No, there's some jarring situations where you're either going to be okay, this is a flavor that I can sort of digest, or it's something that you're oh, this tastes bad. What are they doing? So it worked for me. It was intentionally jarring. It wasn't it was jarring just by circumstance. They wanted it to be, and I thought it was great.
Yeah,
so,
you'd have to be out of your mind to look at that scene in contrast with the rest of the movie and think, the nobody on the team realized that these are two different tones.
$30 million there in the number 2 spot, which, it being the R-rated zombie movie that it is, it coming in ahead of the latest Pixar movie is something I never would have quite expected, to be honest. Elio. This same thing happened with Elemental.
Oh, okay.
Where it got off to a slow start, and then it started to get good word of mouth, and families went, there's nothing else to do this summer, let's go watch. And Elemental sort of gained more traction over time. Mufasa kind of started slow and gained more momentum over time. Could that happen with Elio? I don't think a lot of people know how to pronounce it. That's another problem with the marketing.
The preview, it's Elio last
Is
night.
it Elio?
But I don't know.
I don't think anybody really knows or cares.
Yeah.
I have heard zero conversations about this movie online, in real life. Like, I have heard no buzz about this movie.
Yeah.
I don't like the animation style. That's one thing that really makes me not want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't like that is that Wreck-It Ralph Vanellope grin. Oh,
I hear what you're saying.
that mouth shape, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate
Get a lot of that here.
It's disgusting.
And it's a space movie. It's, they tried with Lightyear to make that something that would matter to people. Lightyear was a massive bust. And I'm not sure if a lot of family audiences care that much about that sort of pitch, that sci-fi kid pitch, which does lean more boy than girl and will affect turnout because girls like the Disney princess vibes and they like, I'm trying to think about like Moana, right?
Lilo and Stitch, but that's
Lilo and Stitch.
That fits more 4-quadrant because it's more just accessible. It's a story about a kid and a cute alien becoming friends, and that appeals to everyone and has since E.T.
There you go. It ended up in the number 3 spot with $21 million, the lowest opening ever for a Pixar movie.
Oh, wow.
Even adjusted for inflation, the lowest number, lower than Toy Story 1, this movie, week 1, lower. Toy Story 1 came out in 1995. You guys weren't born yet.
I didn't realize it was 1995 that came out.
Yep.
It's a long time ago.
Toy Story made more that weekend than Elio or who came out in 2025 here. So, at number 4 spot, though, Lilo and Stitch. Is it gonna pass the $1 billion mark? Where are we, Tyler? Do you have like a worldwide total?
Oh gosh, I've got 386 for domestic, and where is it?
It's got to be in the $900 million range now.
It's got to be
really?
right around there. There it is. Worldwide, 910.
Oh, yeah.
910. So it's got a little bit to go there, and it's really legging out here in the U.S. where it made $10 million this weekend. You have to think it's going to make maybe $6 million this next weekend. I don't know if I assume it's released worldwide and it doesn't have any other big markets, but it's basically going to reach Oppenheimer levels where it's going to be right at $1 billion without getting there. So we'll see. But still, for a movie that was supposed to be straight to Disney Plus, this is a big win for theatrical exhibition.
Oh,
and it's a good movie.
The C-suite at Disney is very happy.
It's a very good movie. I'll have to look at my official rankings, but I think it's a top 5 movie of the year for me so far.
Okay.
But, Sinners is in there. 28 Years Later is in there. Not necessarily in that order. I think I have Dangerous Animals above 28 Years Later. Not from a quality of film, but in a how it made me feel sort of way.
Oh, that movie was just fun.
Love that movie. And really recommend it, especially here on the anniversary of Jaws turning 50. Maybe Lilo and Stitch. Final Destination Bloodlines, I think maybe is 4th. I don't know. But Lilo and Stitch is right there in the mix of top 5. It's been really good. I don't think it'll stay there, but I think it has really, really performed well because it's got such a strong foundation to it. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning staying there in the top 5. E.G.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie yet?
Nope. I'm not.
So you're not going to see this movie?
Probably not because of the time. I was turned off by it. Everyone that Mikey saw it, my parents saw it, my brother saw it, and they were like, it's just too long.
It's long.
You're not missing anything.
Long movie. And, it's really with the advertisements and everything. I timed it. 28 years later, there were 29 minutes of pre-show.
Interesting.
Wow.
I timed it. 29 minutes of pre-show. Now, AMC said we're going to be adding more commercials, more advertisements, more everything, more previews. But it's officially here. 29 minutes it took. And I was like, man, I wish it would have been 28.
Were
it
you
would have
there
been...
for the whole preview sequence?
Yeah.
For 28 years later?
No, but I knew when the showtime was and when the movie started.
Oh, okay.
So that was 29 minutes.
Sometimes they start late. I've been in there and they start the pre-show about 5 minutes late.
Well, whether they are starting it late or airing more things, either way, that's 29 minutes extra if you're seated at the time of the pre-show. But, that's gonna make some people upset. Materialists actually dropped less than I thought it would, with word of mouth being what it is on this thing. It dropped less than 50%, which is an actual big win for Materialists, making $5.8 million. It is sort of the only movie out right now that sort of is feeding into that, hey, girl, let's go get brunch and watch some, city chic actresses and actors.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's just not a very good movie, and I don't recommend either one of you see it. It's weird to me. I thought Materialists, I thought at least one of you I could recommend this movie to. Whether it's E.G. going like, hey, this is like a really good rom-com.
Yeah.
Or like Tyler going, hey, this is like Daddy-O in a movie that is a really well-crafted back and forth. Because I don't think E.G. would like Daddy-O.
I would agree with
There's
that.
two different vibes. But we both like Daddy-O. This is neither one of those. This is false marketing, and I was laughing during it. It's not supposed to be funny.
Now, I've heard some people call this a clever satire on the modern dating world.
Okay.
Judging by your face, I don't think you agree with that sentiment.
I can't really fully talk about it with you unless you see it, and I don't. It's like one of those things where when you taste something bad, but there's someone in your life where eat this, and so you want to see them have that reaction. You're not trying to hurt them. You're just trying to be like, isn't that awful? So you have a shared experience of trauma. I kind of want you to see Materialist, not because I want you to have a bad time, but because I think it's such a misfire. I think it's just like tonally so wrong what they do in this movie. But can't really get into it unless it's someone else who's seen it. So you're not forced to see it. I'm not forcing you to see it, but it's strange. It's a strange movie. Ballerina at the number 7 spot, $4.5 million. This movie just cracked over $50 million after three weeks of release. I apologize. Tough to speak today. This is a misfire. Ballerina is a misfire for Ballerina.
Huge
I'm going to see what
misfire.
the worldwide looks like. Worldwide, $100 million. I don't know what the production budget was on this movie.
More than that.
But definitely more than that. And, I just don't think it creates any sort of spinoff for the John Wick producers that really desperately want more IP to mine with the John Wick world.
Reportedly budget on Ballerina, not counting marketing, is $90 million.
Ah, there you go. So in order to break even, it's going to need to make at least probably $250 million.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get there. I don't think it's going to get there. Making
not
$4
getting
million this weekend, dropping another 50%. Karate Kid Legends and Ballerina have made pretty much the same exact amount of money in the U.S., which is strange to me. Karate Kid Legends is one of the most generically inoffensive. You want to go get some AC in a theater, hope your AC's running. This movie's fine.
Yes.
And you're going to have a fine time. But I've pretty much, I have to remind myself I saw it.
Movie. Yeah.
It's just absolutely disposable. It is the most safe screenplay I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, if you were to ask me and Tyler to come up with a screenplay for Karate Kid Legends, we would have come up with something pretty much like this, I think. It's just very, very basic. Okay. Final Destination Bloodlines, still making over $1 million, $1.8 million, $1.9, nearly $2 million this weekend. And it is only down to 1,300 theaters, and it's still doing well. And you got to remember, it's facing a lot of competition with 28 Years Later there. And Ballerina's going after the same audience there as Final Destination Bloodlines for the most part. And it's doing really, really well in its theatrical run. I'm very proud of this movie and how good it is. $280 million worldwide for a Final Destination movie that's worth the hype. It is so, so good. So there we go. And last but not least, in the 10th spot, what is Kubera?
So that is a Bollywood film.
Okay. Well.
So again, if you're looking for 3 hours of AC, that's that's helping you out there.
Or maybe it's culturally important to you.
Yeah. Or if it's culturally important to you. But I have seen a lot of posts on the AMC subreddits where people are going, it's like, man, I love seeing Bollywood movies in the summer. You get 2.5 hours plus an intermission of AC.
I am going to highlight really two more films here. One
All
that's
right.
out right now, The Life of Chuck. This movie, they tried a slow rollout where they got good word of mouth, and guess what? They got tremendous word of mouth. Some people calling it the movie of the year. Some people saying it's the best movie they've ever seen. Some people, I mean, the hype
It
on this.
won Palme d'Or at Cannes, right?
I don't remember. I'm sure it did. I just don't remember.
I saw Neon like promoting that they won again, so I assume it's them.
It's supposed to be fantastic. We're movie people. If anybody should have seen this movie already, it's us.
Oh yeah, there's been several times where I've had a ticket reserved for a showtime, pulled into the theater parking lot, and just gone, you know what? It's late. I don't want to see it that bad.
I'm going to tell you what I think is actually subliminally hurting this movie very much.
The hype.
No.
Oh, okay.
Hype's not always a bad thing. It's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
It sounds like no one wants to go watch a movie called The Life of Chuck. Nobody wants to see that. It sounds awful. It just sounds, I mean, there was that NBC television show called Chuck, and people were like, oh, is this that? No, it's not. Which I believe had Zachary Levi in it.
That sounds right. Another issue with The Life of Chuck is the trailer doesn't tell you anything about the movie.
I saw no marketing for this whatsoever.
I saw maybe 2 trailers.
And you go to the movies all the time.
Yeah, I rarely caught that trailer. And even if you're going out of your way to try and find something about the movie, it must really be a movie that's just better if you go off blind into, because the synopsis is just like, this follows the life of Chuck. Yeah. And that tells me nothing about the movie. And then you watch the trailer, and it's just Tom Hiddleston sitting at a desk, drinking from a coffee cup and smiling. Like, what? How can you get me interested in the movie? I'm not seeing just every movie just because. Like, you gotta sell me on something.
Yeah. I don't think this movie, at the end of it, the legacy is going to be very good on it because of how poorly marketed it was, how much of a commercial failure it's been. Now, when the movie comes out on streaming, I'll probably watch it and be like, man, that was really good. But that's what it's going to take. It's going to take this movie bombing in theaters and becoming accessible on streaming for people to actually rally around it, because no one's going to the theater to see this. So that's The Life of Chuck. That's the box office. Really, really down week. And that's going to change. July is definitely going to heat things up for sure. F1 is a movie we'll be watching this week and letting you know what we think about it. We'll be seeing that on Wednesday night, and we will be excited to give you our review later on this week. Now, with all of that out of the way, there's one more movie we got to talk about, and that is a movie that's opening up in the beginning of August 8th. It is a movie called Weapons. This is directed, written, produced, Zach Kreger. He's the guy behind this. He was behind my favorite horror movie that I've seen in the past 5 years called Barbarian. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really interesting, and it is a movie that you can't really tell where it's going the whole entire time. And I love that. I love the movie. Been talking about it forever. Weapons, they dropped their second trailer today. We have our trailer reaction out there on the channel for you to watch after you leave us here on the live show. And we'll give you our full thoughts there. But right now, I want to give a temperature check on where we are on Weapons, because after seeing this trailer, I think, Tyler, we're both more hyped for this movie.
Yes, we are. Definitely go check out our trailer reaction. It came out approximately 15 minutes ago. Because we didn't want to drop it right before the show, so that way you guys can, just consume it later if you want to. Yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. The trailer has not given away anything. It's just been interesting image after interesting image after little sequence of tension, and I think this could shape up to be one of the best horror movies of the year. And in a year where a lot of my top movies of the year have been horror or horror-adjacent movies, this could shape up to be one of the best movies of the year. Just based off of how excited I am from the trailer. If the trailer can deliver that level of just deep uncomfortableness,
Yeah.
then I can't wait to see what he does with a feature-length presentation.
I have a Prisoners vibe with it. If you've seen Denis Villeneuve's Prisoners with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal and Paul Dano, that's the vibe I have here with this movie. It's got that same sort of tone, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's maybe the movie I'm looking most forward to actually sitting down and watching. Superman at this point, I'm just like nervous about it. I'm like, please just be good. Please don't be completely controversial. Please just deliver a solid movie. Like, I'm nervous. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. I'm holding on to a lot of stock, but I'm also like wanting to get it over with the first time.
Yes.
And then hopefully I go back and see it a second, third, fourth time because I love it so much. But I'm nervous. With weapons, I'm much less nervous. I'm much more just excited.
Oh, yeah, same here. With Superman, I just want it to be here because we're just sitting here discussing on whether or not this movie will be good or bad based on nothing. We have nothing to go off of other than what's already been released. Yeah. And according to James Gunn, things have been changed up. That flying shot everybody was complaining about months ago is apparently not even in the movie. And I just want the movie to be here because I want to know what happens because that Superman role, and E.G., you'll understand this, taking on the role of Superman in a movie is like becoming the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher at Hogwarts.
I understand that.
Yeah, it's a very short run, and then sometimes tragedy befalls them. It seems to be a cursed role.
Cursed.
Oh, okay. I didn't fully understand what
You'll
the
get there,
reference.
You'll get there.
I'm working through it. All right. This has been a fun episode. Thank you guys for helping me celebrate my birthday. I've got hundreds of messages. Hundreds.
That's
and
awesome.
Really, really kind. The Pennant Grace gave me a shout out on Twitter, so now I feel super verified there. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. New Pennant Grace tomorrow.
12:15.
I went from Braves country to literally right here.
More Braves country.
More Braves country.
Yeah.
It's always Braves country when you're around.
Amen. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt.
Okay. How are the Braves right now? Oh, it's not good?
No.
Now, that makes it sound like I knew the answer, and I promise I did not.
No, I know.
Because it's been up and down. I didn't know if y'all
we're
were.
on a down swing again.
You know, Ush said it would be July before he hits the panic button.
Yeah,
Is he there now?
No.
Can you ask him, like, hey, like tomorrow's episode, will you just ask, like, hey, where is your finger in relation to the panic button?
Yeah, I can do that.
Like, because I want to know. Because he's always sort of like said July is where he's going to make his official declaration. But
I think we need an official panic button sitting on the Pennant
We
Grace
need
desk.
to contact someone about that.
yeah, let's make that happen.
We will.
But anyway, the Pennant Grace tomorrow, live, 12:15, the Disrupt Media YouTube channel, and on EG's Twitter.
Yeah, that's the best place to find us, if we're being honest. So go find us.
At MEG_sports.
Yes!
There we go. There you go. There you have it. I'm a pro. I'm sweating.
I know,
it's a
it's
hot
hot in
day.
here.
I appreciate everybody so much. We're going to go get some R&R for the rest of the afternoon before the big poker game tonight. We'll let you know how that goes tomorrow. Cash game tonight, not tournament. So, I mean, some big stakes. We're looking forward to that, seeing how things go. And if you're wanting to get some action, you're wanting to get the blood pumping, there's a certain way you can do that. MyBookie.ag. Use promo code next round for that first time deposit bonus. You will be very excited there at mybookie.ag, where you can enhance each and every game that you watch there at mybookie.ag. For Tyler, for EG, I'm Tim. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on the Meltdown Live, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern.